1. All right, so I don't know if you remember last week we were getting common denominators and we would look at the fractions, and one way we would get them is if we just multiplied the denominators together. So we would take 4 and multiply it by 2 and it would give us a new denominator of 8. And then you wanted to figure out what you'd multiply each fraction by to get that denominator. So in this case, the bottom fraction is multiplied by 4. And whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top of each fraction. So 2 times 4 would give us 8. So 1 times 4 gives us 4. 4 times 2 would give us 8. So 3 times 2 would give us 6. Hi, Tylisha. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. So then you're going to add down. You're going to add your tops. 6 plus 4. You're going to copy your denominator. This gives you 10 over 8. 8 goes into 10 one time with 2 left over. And then they are both reducible by 2. So I know I'm going a little fast, but I know we did this last week. So if going from start to finish, are you guys comfortable with these problems, or do you want to do some more of these? I think there's a chat. If you don't want to turn on your microphone, you guys, I don't know if you know, but there's a little chat bubble, and you can type in there and tell me stuff like this is easy.
Can we do another one?
Yeah, we can do as many as you guys want. Absolutely. I'm going to move on to the next page though, because these are all like adding 3 fractions. Wait, oh, I cannot stand, hold on. I know this is gross. I can't stand how the eraser doesn't erase and you can like click to the next page and then the marker still stays there. Nuts to me. All right, so let's do like this one and this one, just so it's not all smushed together. So first, multiply the denominators together, the 5 and the 3. That'll always give you a common denominator. And then you know you multiplied 5 by 3. So if the bottom's by 3, the top's by 3. In this case, you multiplied by 5 to get 15. So if the bottom's by 5, the top's by 5. I'm going to stop, make sure you see all of those numbers and you see where they came from. If you add down, you have 9 plus 10.
Get 19 over 15.
You got it. And then do you remember how to rewrite it as a mixed number?
1 and 4 over 15.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. You know, I think we have enough room to do the rest. So this new denominator for the second one would be what?
12.
Yep. So multiply this one by 3. What do you get for your new numerator on the top?
9 over 12.
Mm-hmm.
3 over 12. Oh no, 4 over 12.
Mm-hmm.
13 over, it would be 13 over 12. It would be 1 and 1 over 12.
And we are done. Yay! Yay, with 2 of them. Okay, let's do the next one. So what would the denominator be for the next one?
10.
Okay, so what's your first top? Your numerator on the top.
4 over 4. 4 over 10. 5 over 10. It would be 9/10.
Yes. Yay! One more for good luck. What's this last numerator?
21.
Yes.
9
Yes.
over 21 and 7 over 21.
Mm-hmm.
16 over 21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can't reduce that.
Yes, that's done. Tashana, are you following through with these? I know if your sound's off, and that's totally fine. Just want to make sure you're good.
Yes.
Okay. Am I saying your name right, Tashana?
Yes, you're saying it absolutely right.
Okay, good. The only time I don't know if you guys can see it, but the only time I can see your name is when you talk and then it goes away. And then there's just initials. So then I'm like, who's TF? Who's like, you're both T. So I try to write them down. I think you guys remember from last week. Okay. All right. So erase all drawings. I need my little cursor. All right, let's just do a couple of these with the mixed numbers, adding mixed numbers, because that's what these word problems are going to look like. Let me move this over. Oops, I didn't realize it all separated. There we go. Okay, rewrite each problem with whole numbers, and fractions under fractions, then add and reduce. All right, I don't really like red because I feel like it looks like we're doing something wrong. So I'm going to choose a different color. I kind of like this blue. Bright and cheery like the sky is today. Oh, crap. Hold on. I forgot to get my pen back. I am really bad at these tools in this go-to meeting. Okay, 4 3/5 and 6 3/4. Okay, so we're going to ignore the whole numbers for now. We're not even going to look at them. We're just going to look at these little dudes, the 3/5 and the 3/4. So I'm going to kind of draw a squiggly line. Just deal with the fractions, but well, they're all technically fractions, but just deal with the fraction part. So what's your denominator?
It will be 20.
You got it. And what's your top numerator?
12
Yes. And then,
and 15.
yep. You're like faster than I can write. You're awesome. And then add these down.
20, 27 over 20.
But now rewrite that as a mixed number.
Be 1 and 7 over 20.
Perfect. Now let me change my pen color. Now we're going to add the whole numbers together. It's 4 plus 6. What does that give you?
10.
Right, you have 10. But
Plus
now you can add the 10 and the 1 together.
11 and 7 over 20.
Right. You have 11 as your whole number and then 7 over 20 as your little fraction.
So how did you get how did you rewrite the 27 over 20?
How did I rewrite what?
The 27 over 20. How did
Got
you
it.
get, okay.
So you're going to figure out how many times 20 goes into 27.
Okay.
And it's almost like this. I'm going to write it like a division problem. 20 goes into 27 one time with a remainder of 7. Can you follow that?
Yeah.
So that's how I got it. It's 1 with 7/20.
Okay. That's how I thought you got it. I wanted to make sure I was right.
Oh, good. Yeah, sometimes you're like, even if you blink or there's a noise in your house and you come back, you're like, there's a number on the board and I don't even know where it came from. And then you're like trying to focus on figuring out where that number came from. And then the teacher's like 5 numbers ahead and you're like, I know.
You're right.
I know. All right, well, let me write this next one. So 7 5/8 and 9 2/3. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing, like ignore the whole numbers, just deal with the little fractions. What's your new denominator, your common denominator?
24.
Yes.
It would be 15 over 24 and 16 over 24.
I'm just writing it out so we have it. In case anyone's watching this recording later on. Okay, add down. What do you get?
31 over 24.
And
Um,
then Tashana, she's probably going to do this as a mixed number, but watch, it's going to be exactly like this one over here. She's going to do the same thing. So I'll write it like this. 24 into 31. It goes once. What's your remainder?
7.
So your answer is just 1 with 7 over 24 left. Now, did you guys follow that, or did I go too fast? Good.
No, I got
Go ahead.
Now we're going to add these big numbers, and we can add this one with it. So 7 plus 9 plus 1, what does that give us?
17.
Yes. And then you just
7/24.
Ta-da, that's the answer. I didn't even put a box around this one over here. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't know if you guys are writing this down. Do you need me to go slower, or are we doing, is our pace good?
No, I'm good.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's rewrite the last one. 8 and 5 over 9. 3 and 2/3. Same concept. And your new denominator is what?
27. 15 over 27. And 18 over 27.
And then add down. What do you get?
33 over 27.
And then 27 goes into 33 once. The remainder of 6. So what does that give you?
One and 6 over 27.
But you can reduce that. 6 and 27 are both divisible by 3.
So it'll be 1 and 2 over 9.
1 and 2/9. And now
Plus 11 will be 12 and 2/9.
just let me get my really pretty green, okay? Because I like it. Oops. Hold on, I got red. The red looks like you're doing something wrong. Okay. 8 plus 3 that you added in your head plus 1, you're right, is going to be 11 and 2 over 9. I'll just write it in the green. Perfect. All right, so we've done a bunch of different kinds of adding fractions.
Oh.
You guys have any questions on these?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, good. Oh, I hit the. I can never remember to erase things. All right, now we're going to do the applications. This is what I talked about last week. So we're ready. Take a second to read number 1 to yourself. I'm going to shut my door because I have teenage boys and I think they just found my house. It's going to get real loud here. They put their dinner on the stove and I think they just found it. All right, I'm guessing you guys are done. So Karen's 62.5 inches tall. Her mother's 5 3/4 inches taller. How tall is Karen's mother? You know, the fractions make this problem difficult. If I said to you, pretend those aren't the numbers. Pretend the numbers are these.
Inches.
What did you say?
I said 68 inches.
You're close.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you pretend, like here, cross this out. Pretend I told you that Karen is 62 inches tall, and I told you that her mother was 6 inches taller. How tall is her mother?
68 inches.
Yes. This is a skill that like I highly recommend you do. If you read a word problem and you're like, because the fractions make you so stressed out, you sweat, take them out, put stupid numbers in, reread it. Once you reread it with this really easy numbers, I think it makes sense. And it might have made sense to you when you read it, but just, sometimes you read these and you're like, I can't even get past the numbers that they're using in here with us. So you just added those together. So let's take these. I'm going to write it on the side. We've got 62 and 1/2. And then we've got 5 3/4. And we're going to add those together. No big deal. Just like before, I'm going to draw my little line. What's my new denominator here?
8.
You could have used 4, but 8's fine too, because that's the pattern that we've been using. Okay, what does this give you?
4/8.
Yes.
6/8.
Mm-hmm.
It would be 10/8. It would turn into 1 and 2/8. Which is 1 and 1/2.
You're close. You're close. 8
Okay,
divided by 2 is
1 and 1/4.
perfect. And then when you add 62 plus 5, you get what?
67. 60 plus 6. Oh, okay. Plus 60. Plus 1 is 68 and 1/4 inches.
Yep, that's how tall her mom is. Karen's mom. Okay, reading the second one. You guys can read it quietly to yourself. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. All right, I'm assuming you read the whole problem. What are you supposed to do with these fractions?
Add them.
Yeah, can you tell, or are you just guessing because we've been adding lately?
It says it talks about all the places she went and how with the distance it took for her to get there, and then it says what total distance did she drive. So we have to add all the distance to get the total distance.
Yeah, like if she drove from her house to the supermarket, right? This was 5.5 miles. And then from the supermarket to the hardware store, this was 3 7/10 miles. And then from the hardware store to the laundromat, it was 8/10 of a mile. And then from the laundromat back home was 6 1/10 of a mile. And they said, how far did she travel? You're right. You have to add all of those together to figure out how far she traveled. Now, we don't have a lot of room on our paper, so I'm going to erase this beautiful diagram I just made with stars.
Okay.
Get my pen back. All right. So I'm going to take 5.5. I'm going to take 3 7/10. And then we have 8/10. And notice I'm lining everything up, like the whole numbers are over the whole numbers. And the fractions are over the fractions. So one of the denominators is 2, the rest of them are 10. If this happens to you, see if you could make them all 10. Can you? Can you multiply that 2 by anything to make it a 10? Because you've only got to change one, really, if that happens.
Yeah, 5.
Good. So it's 1 times 5. It's just 5. Okay, so now you have 5/10. plus 7/10. Let me change my color. So now you've got all these little fractions to add, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's draw our line. And now you're going to add these numerators together. What do you get?
I got 21 over 10.
Okay, so that's 12, 13, yep, 21 over 10. And if you rewrite it, it becomes what?
It literally becomes 2 and 1 over 10. So it's like you just dropping the 2 down.
It is just like dropping the 2 down. And then take these whole numbers, 5 and 3 and 6 and 2, add those all together. What do you get?
16 and 1/10.
Good girl. Good girl.
Thanks.
And this would be miles. I'm very bad about putting my units on word problems, but the test is multiple choice, so I'm assuming they'll have that up there for you. So let's erase our drawings. Get my little mouse back. One more slide. And this last slide has 3 word problems. I think we should do all of them. And then I can answer any questions that you have. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Mrs. Monroe's empty suitcase weighs 4 3/4 pounds. Mr. Items he packed in his suitcase weigh 17 3/5 pounds. What was the weight of his suitcase when it was filled? I get it. So the suitcase weighs blah, and then all of the stuff he's going to put in weighs another amount.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it going to weigh if you put it all in the suitcase? How much does it weigh all together? So what are you going to do to those 2 numbers?
You are going to add them because
You
they're
are going to.
asking for all together.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So 17 3/5, 4 3/4. What's your common denominator?
It's 20.
Yeah.
So the 15 over 20 and 12 over 20 gives you 27 over 20.
Add it one more time. Oh, wait. This is 12. Sorry, I didn't write the 12 down. You're right. You're right. I didn't write the 12 down.
You're okay.
Four
You're
on
okay.
top. I'm like, where in the world is that coming from? You're right. 27 over 20, which becomes what?
27 over 20 becomes 1 and 7 over 20.
Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and add the big numbers. 17, 4, 1. What does that give you?
17 plus 4 is 21. 22?
Mm-hmm.
22, 7 over 20 pounds is the suitcase.
It's perfect. So if you put all those clothes in the suitcase, that's how much it's going to weigh. Yep.
Okay. I like doing the fractions repeatedly because sometimes you can forget
Right.
what steps to take when you are adding, subtracting, or multiplying and dividing fractions.
I know. I know. Well, at the end of the lesson, we're going to talk. And if you want to come next week, you tell me what you want because I sign up and I put whatever I can pick whatever I want to teach. So if you want to do subtracting fractions next Wednesday, then that's what we do. And it looks like I'm talking to the wall. I have 2 monitors and you're to my, like where my video is, it's to the side of me. So I really am looking at you when I'm talking, I'm like, hey, yeah, that's where you are. You're on the other side. Like
Okay.
there's nobody over here. Like when I'm looking at you, there's nobody over here. The word problems are right here. But yeah, after we finish this, you can just tell me what you want to do and I'll sign up for it. If you want to come back next Wednesday, we can just do like that.
Okay.
All right. Read the problem. I'm going to read it. I'll read it quiet too. Okay, what are you going to do with all those numbers?
Well, we have to add them.
Yeah. 2 and
We
2
have to add
thirds.
them.
Oh, one of them's a 2, sorry. One of them's 3 and 1/4. One of them's 2 and 2/3, and one of them's 7/8. Ugh, where are we going to do this work? You know, let's do it in the top right corner. I know that's not by the problem, but when I made this slide, I really didn't leave that much room for our work. Here, this is much neater. Okay, now here's the issue. Common denominator between 3, 4, and 8. I would list multiples of 8 and then see which ones 3 and 4 go into.
Okay.
So we can multiply them all together too. It doesn't matter. Is that better for you? Because we can totally do that. Do you like that system?
If we did that, we would have to reduce. What about 24?
That was what, yeah. So this is what I meant. If you write multiples of 8, like here's 8 times 1, here's 8 times 2, here's 8 times 3, hopefully you see one that everything goes into. That's why I picked 8 because it's the biggest number. So I figured if we write the multiples of 8, we'll eventually find one that 3 and 4 both go into. So yeah,
Okay.
you nailed it. You're
Okay.
right. Good
Cool.
job.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, so top, what do you have?
10 over 24.
2 times 4 is 8.
Oh, wait, no, I'm lost. I'm so
No,
lost. Give me a second.
hold on. I'm writing it wrong. Hold on. I don't think I can
Okay.
erase. Give me 1 second. Yeah, see, there's no spot eraser. All right, let me just scribble here then. My bad. Hold on. So I needed to multiply this by 8. 3 times 8 made 24, so 2 times 8 makes 16. Sorry about that. That's really messy. Can you
No,
see?
you're okay.
Okay, if I hit erase all, I have to rewrite everything.
No, I can see it.
Okay, and then this little guy gets multiplied by 6. So what's 1 times 6?
Um, 6.
8 times 3 and 7 times 3. So what do you get with 7 times 3?
Um,
I'm
21.
getting tired. These fractions get to you after a while.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
so
I know. I can
confusing.
feel it too. I'm like, la, 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 la. It's just the number after number.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'd be like, okay, let's take a break. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. Like if we were in the place, right? Okay, when you're doing it online, you're like a machine. Just keep going, going, going. So let's add these 3 together. So 16 plus 6 plus 21. What does that give you?
43 over 24.
Yep. All right, so you have 43 over 24. Which is what? Is a mixed number.
Um, 1
Mm-hmm.
and 20 over 24.
I don't think it's 20. I think it's 19.
Okay.
24 goes into 43 one time. Yeah, it's 19 because this becomes a 13.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. Okay, right. Okay. So I subtracted wrong. Okay, so
That's okay.
19, 1 and 19 over 24.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to grab my green because I got to find these. So here's a whole number. Here's a whole number. here's a whole number, and here's a whole number. Okay, so add those together.
The total weight was 7 pounds and 19 over 24.
You're super close. Add
Okay.
those big numbers one more time. 2 plus
Okay.
2.
2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 7. Okay.
2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7.
20.
7 plus 1 is
Oh,
8.
7 is 10 plus 4 is 14. Am I missing a number? Oh, it's 8.
It's 8.
Okay, it's 8 and 19 over 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Last problem. Thank goodness, right? All right, take a second to read it. I'm going to do the same thing. Oof. Finish reading it?
Yes.
Do you know what we're doing?
Yeah, we're adding.
Okay. 8. All righty. Hold on one second. I'm gonna write it in the same spot. I think that was a good spot. So
Okay.
Monday was, don't you think? It's weird because I'm writing it by number 3, but it just looks like the best spot to write this. So there's Mondays. There's Tuesdays. Like Tuesday night he worked 4 1/3. Wednesday he worked 2 3/4. And Thursday he worked 3 2/3. So your denominators, you've got 2, 3, and 4. Do you know what they're all going to divide into? You can start, like, take the 4, which is the biggest, and start writing multiples. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. I'm shaking my head because it's not, they're not all going in that yet. 4 times 3 is 12.
I think it's 12.
They all go in 12. Yep. Okay. So this one we multiply by 4. What's the first fraction? Oh, it's not by, what is wrong with me? I keep looking at the second fraction and writing the work for the first fraction. 2 times 6 is 12. So 1 times 6 is 6. Gosh, I'll just do it for you because I made such a mess. The next one is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So what's 1 times 4?
4.
And then 4 times 3 is 12. So 3 times 3 is
9 over 12.
Yep. And then what's this one become?
8 over 12.
Yep. And then go ahead and add all of your numerators. Let me grab my highlighter. This is really hard to see, I think. So we've got 6, 4, 9, and 8. Add those together.
You get 27. And then you get
Yep.
the mixed number would be 2 and 3 over 12.
3 12s can be reduced
To 2 and 1 over 4.
2 and 1/4. Perfect. Let me get my little green pen. I'm going to circle all my whole numbers. Here's 1, here's 1, here's 1, here's 1, and here's 1. So add all of those whole numbers together. What do you get?
14 and 1/4
You got it.
hours.
You got it. Whew. Well, it's a good thing we didn't talk about pizza this week because we starving last week. Do you remember?
Yeah, I went and got pizza that evening. I can't help
That's hilarious. I was so hungry after that session. I don't know what. We just kept saying pizza, pizza, and I was just dying.
Yeah, like for dinner I had a box of pizza by the end of the night.
That's my problem. As soon as I open the box, oh right, that's right. I had kale upstairs. Remember, I'm like, I got
Oh,
kale upstairs, but I really want pizza, and you're like, girl, eat the kale. It's all coming back to me. Oh, stupid kale. Well, we're
that
done
was cool.
here with all this. What'd you say?
That was cool.
That was funny. I remember that.